Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, we're joining Jack, Tu Tien, and little Anna as they experience a vibrant traditional spring festival for the very first time. Drums, rituals for a good harvest, folk games, and even a riverboat race that leaves them speechless. If you enjoy the story, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next episodes. The first days of the Lunar New Year always feel like the village is smiling a little wider. The air is crisp, the roads are busier than usual, and every house seems to have a new splash of color somewhere. Red paper at the gate, a small pot of flowers by the steps, a neighbor wearing their best clothes just to walk to the market and back. That morning, Jack checks the car twice like he's preparing for a long trip. Even though they're staying in the province, he opens the back door and buckles Anna into her seat, gently adjusting the straps like it's a serious job. Anna is too now old enough to have opinions, old enough to remember the fun parts, and definitely old enough to protest if she doesn't like the hat on her head. She taps her shoes against the seat, excited. Go. Tu Tien steps out of the house in a neat Tet outfit, simple but bright. She looks lighter lately, still careful, still healing, but less trapped in her own thoughts. She's holding a small bag with snacks, tissues, and a bottle of water for Anna, because she's learned that a peaceful day often depends on the smallest preparations. Jack holds the passenger door for her. Ready for something new? Tu Tien smiles. I've never been to a real spring festival like this. Not properly. Jack tilts his head. Then today is your first. As he starts the engine, he glances at her once. If it gets too crowded, we step back. No pressure. Tu Tien nods, grateful he said it, without making it dramatic. Okay. They drive out toward Chiem Hoa, and the road feels alive. Groups of people on motorbikes pass them, some carrying flags, some wearing traditional clothes, some laughing like they've already been celebrating since dawn. Vendors are set up along the roadside with small snacks and bright drinks. Somewhere in the distance, a drumbeat rolls like thunder, steady and inviting. Anna presses her face close to the window. She points at everything: yellow flowers, red banners, a man carrying a long bamboo pole. Big, Jack laughs. Yes, big. It's festival day. Tu Tien looks out too, and her eyes shine in a way Jack hasn't seen in a while. Simple wonder, not forced. The kind of expression that says she's letting herself enjoy a moment without counting the risks. By the time they reach the festival area, the sound arrives before the scene does. Drums, voices, laughter, and a constant hum of movement, like the whole town decided to meet in one place. Jack parks carefully, chooses a spot that's not too far but not right in the crush of people. He lifts Anna out, and she immediately tries to wiggle down to run. Slow, Jack says, holding her hand firmly. Stay with Mom. Anna frowns at the word stay, then compromises by walking faster than both of them. Tu Tien laughs. She thinks she's leading us. Jack looks at Anna's tiny hand wrapped around his finger. Let her lead. We'll just protect her route. They step into the festival, and it feels like walking into a different world. There are colorful stalls selling local food and little toys. There are groups of people in traditional outfits, especially Tay families moving with calm pride, like they're carrying history on their shoulders. Near the center, a tall ceremonial pole stands ready, decorated and watched carefully by organizers. Nearby, you can see a procession forming, with trays and offerings prepared for the ritual. Tu Tien slows down. It's so alive. Jack nods. This is what people mean when they say, the new year begins here. They find a place where they can see without being pushed. Jack stands slightly behind Tu Tien, one hand on Anna's shoulder, the other ready to lift her if the crowd shifts too close. A drumbeat grows louder. People turn their heads. The ceremony begins. Jack leans down to Tu Tien, speaking softly so only she hears. First is the ritual praying for a good harvest, good weather, good health. Tu Tien nods, eyes fixed on the movement. She watches the procession offerings carried with care. people walking in a respectful line. The atmosphere changes for a moment. Even the loud crowd seems to quiet itself in small pockets, as if everyone understands this part matters. Anna doesn't fully understand the meaning, but she feels the energy. She stops moving and stares, her mouth slightly open. Then she whispers, like she's sharing a secret with herself. Boom. Boom. Jack smiles. Yes, the drums. As the ritual continues, Tu Tien notices details that make it feel real. Elders' faces calm and serious, hands clasped in quiet respect. Young people standing straight, proud to be part of something old. Offerings that look like pieces of daily life turned sacred for a moment. Tu Tien's voice turns softer. It's beautiful. Jack glances at her, then back to the ceremony. It's not about being perfect. It's about remembering where you come from. When the formal part begins to settle, the mood shifts again, like the village takes a deep breath and decides, now we celebrate. Music rises. People start moving toward the open spaces where games and performances are waiting. Somewhere, someone cheers loudly. A vendor calls out food prices, and the smell of grilled meat and steamed sticky rice drifts through the air. Anna immediately starts tugging at Tu Tien's sleeve. Want. Tu Tien crouches down. What do you want? Anna points wildly, not helpful at all. That. Jack laughs. That could mean the entire festival. They walk slowly, letting Anna look. Jack buys her a small, sticky rice treat wrapped neatly, and she holds it like a trophy. Tu Tien wipes a little bit from Anna's chin and smiles. You're happy? Jack asks Tu Tien. Tu Tien answers honestly. I feel like I'm borrowing happiness. Jack's voice stays calm. Then borrow it. We pay it back by being grateful. Tu Tien looks at him, and her eyes soften. You've gotten good at saying things like that. Jack shrugs. I learned from surviving. They move toward a wider area where traditional sports are set up. A circle has formed around a wrestling ring. Two strong men step forward, shoulders bare, bodies dusted lightly with powder, faces focused. The crowd murmurs with excitement. Anna sees the circle and tries to squeeze forward. Jack lifts her up immediately and settles her on his hip. Up, Anna says, satisfied. Tu Tien stands close, one hand resting on Jack's arm so they stay connected in the crowd. The wrestlers begin fast, controlled, powerful. The crowd cheers when one man nearly loses balance and catches himself. Tu Tien watches with wide eyes. It's intense, she whispers. Jack nods. Traditional wrestling. People wait for this. Anna doesn't understand the rules, but she understands the energy. She squeals when the crowd cheers, then claps late, proud of her timing. Tu Tien laughs softly. She thinks she's part of it. Jack kisses Anna's hair. She is. They stay a while, then move again, because the festival has too much to see in one spot. They pass an area where people are playing tug-of-war, their feet digging into the ground, faces red with effort, laughter exploding when one team slips and the other team collapses in a pile. Tu Tien's shoulders relax. She laughs too openly, without looking over her shoulder first. Jack watches that laugh like it's the most valuable thing they've brought into the new year. They find a quieter corner near a small stand of trees and sit for a moment. Jack sets Anna down with a warning look. Stay close, he says. Anna nods like she agrees, then immediately toddles one step away to chase a piece of paper on the ground. Tu Tien sighs, amused. This child has no fear. Jack answers quietly. I want her to keep it. Tu Tien looks at him. And you? Jack doesn't pretend. I have fear. I just don't want it to drive us. Tu Tien's hand finds his. She squeezes once. Thank you for bringing me here. Jack squeezes back. Thank you for coming. A loud cheer rises again from the main area. The games are continuing. The energy is building, moving toward the true heart of a spring festival. People laughing together, competing, eating, singing, remembering. Jack stands, Ready for the next part? Tu Tien smiles. Yes. Anna bounces in place. More. Jack lifts her again. All right, more. As they walk back into the crowd, the festival feels brighter, louder, more alive. And for the first time in a long time, Tu Tien doesn't feel like she's only surviving the new year. She feels like she's stepping into it. The deeper they walk into the festival grounds, the more it feels like the entire province has poured into one shared heartbeat. There are clusters of people everywhere, grandparents holding grandchildren, teenagers filming, vendors fanning smoke away from skewers, men shouting friendly challenges over a game, women laughing with hands full of snacks. The sound isn't chaotic. It's layered, like a song made of 100 small village voices. Jack keeps Anna on his hip as they move, partly because she likes being up high, and partly because he can control the crowd around her better that way. Tu Tien stays close, her hand occasionally resting on Jack's back when the walkway narrows. Anna points ahead at a bright corner where colorful flags flap in the wind. There! Jack follows her finger. Okay, boss, we're going. They stop at a row of stalls selling simple festival food. Steamed corn, roasted sweet potatoes, sticky rice cakes, grilled meat wrapped in fragrant leaves. Tu Tien's eyes land on a tray of warm rice cakes, and she smiles like she's remembering something from childhood. Do you want some? Jack asks. Tu Tien shakes her head. Let Anna eat first. If I eat too much, I'll get sleepy. Jack nods and buys a small portion for Anna. Then another small cup of warm tea for Tu Tien. Anna grabs her snack with both hands, cheeks puffing as she chews seriously, like this is important work. Tu Tien watches her with soft eyes. She looks happy. Jack glances at Tu Tien. You look happy too. Tu Tien's smile is quiet. I'm learning how to accept it. They walk again, following the flow of people toward the open competition areas. The wrestling ring is still active in the distance, but Jack steers them toward another crowd forming near a long rope stretched across an open patch of ground. Tug of war is about to start. Two teams line up, men on one side, mixed ages on the other, some older uncles too stubborn to step aside. Everyone is laughing already, as if winning is less important than proving you still have strength. A referee calls out the start. Both teams pull, heels digging into soil, shoulders tight, faces turning red. The rope vibrates like it's alive. The crowd cheers, and Anna's eyes go wide. Pull, Anna shouts, not sure who she's supporting. Jack laughs. You're supporting chaos. Tu Tien laughs too, and it comes easily. She lifts her hand and claps once in time with the crowd. Jack watches her face, and for a moment, he looks like he's relieved, not because everything is perfect, but because she's present. The tug of war ends in a messy tumble. One team stumbles backward, everyone falls into a laughing pile, and even the referee bends over laughing like he forgot he was supposed to be serious. Tu Tien wipes the corner of her eye. This is what I missed. People being silly without fear. Jack nods, voice low. It reminds you that life can still be simple. They move on to a small area where kids are playing a traditional throwing game. It's not complicated, just a target, a few rings, and a lot of excited shouting. Anna immediately leans forward in Jack's arms like she wants to jump in. Tu Tien bends down near Anna's face. Do you want to try? Anna nods quickly. Yes. Jack sets Anna down and holds her hands, guiding her toward the little game line. He pays for one try, and the vendor hands Anna a soft ring. Anna stares at the ring like she's trying to understand the physics of it. She lifts it with both hands and throws it straight down to her own feet. The vendor laughs kindly. Again, Jack crouches beside her. Look, like this. He shows her a gentle toss. Tu Tien watches, smiling, then takes Anna's hands and helps her throw. The ring flies forward, landing nowhere near the target, but the crowd of nearby kids cheers anyway. Anna claps, proud. I did! Tu Tien laughs. Yes, you did. Jack glances at Tu Tien. She gets confidence from you. Tu Tien's smile softens. she gets courage from you. They walk toward the river area next, following the sound of shouting and the deeper drumbeat that seems to travel through the ground. The path opens, and suddenly the river is there, wide and bright, under the late morning light. A boat race is being prepared. Long boats sit near the bank, sleek and low in the water. Teams in matching shirts gather, stretching, checking paddles, adjusting headbands. The crowd lines the river edge, some people standing on small slopes for a better view. The energy feels different here, less playful, more electric. Anna points at the boats. Big boat. Jack lifts her again. Yes, very big boat. Tu Tien stands close to Jack's side, eyes wide. I've only seen this on videos. Jack smiles. Then today you see it for real. A starter calls out instructions through a speaker. People quiet down. The teams take their positions. Paddles lift. Bodies lean forward. The river holds its breath. Then the signal comes, drums strike hard, and the boats surge forward like they've been released from a cage. The sound is powerful. Paddles slapping water in perfect rhythm. Men shouting counts, drums beating like a heartbeat you can feel in your ribs. The boats cut through the river, leaving sharp trails behind them. Tu Tien's mouth opens slightly. Wow! Jack watches her more than the boats for a second. Her eyes shine, and her face looks younger, lighter, like she's allowed to be impressed without worrying about what comes next. Anna bounces in Jack's arms, shouting excitedly, "Go, go!" Jack laughs. She's coaching now. Tu Tien claps softly, eyes glued to the river. The boats race past the halfway mark. The crowd erupts. A team edges ahead by a fraction. The drums become faster, louder. The final stretch is chaos and precision at the same time. When the boats cross the finish, the cheering turns into a roar. Some people jump, some hug, some just laugh in disbelief. Even people who don't know the teams look proud, like the village itself just won. Anna claps hard, then rests her head briefly on Jack's shoulder, overwhelmed in the best way. Tu Tien turns to Jack, voice quiet. "Thank you," Jack answers simply. "For what?" "For showing me life again," Tu Tien says. Jack doesn't get dramatic. He just nods, eyes steady. "We show each other." They step back from the river to a quieter spot under a tree line. Jack sets Anna down and hands her water. Tu Tien checks Anna's jacket, straightening it like a mother who can't stop caring even during festivals. Jack watches Tu Tien for a moment, then speaks softly. "Are you tired?" Tu Tien pauses, listening to her body. "A little." Jack nods immediately. "Then we slow down." Tu Tien looks at him grateful. "You don't push." Jack answers honestly. "I learned the hard way that pushing breaks things." Tu Tien's gaze drops, then lifts again. "I don't want to be treated like glass." Jack's voice stays gentle. "You're not glass. You're just someone I love. And loving you means I pay attention." Tu Tien takes a slow breath. "Okay." They sit for a few minutes, watching families pass by. A group of elders walks together, laughing. A child runs after a balloon. A couple takes a photo near a flagpole. The festival keeps moving, but in this small pocket of shade, time feels softer. Anna gets restless again, tugging at Tu Tien's sleeve. "More!" Tu Tien laughs quietly. "She's not tired." Jack lifts his eyebrows. Her energy is illegal. They walk one more loop through the festival, buying a small handmade trinket for Anna. Nothing expensive, just something to remember. Anna holds it tightly, staring at it as if it might disappear. As the afternoon begins to tilt toward evening, Jack makes the decision without making it a big deal. "Let's go home," he says. Tu Tien nods. Before she crashes, Anna hears home and looks offended for half a second. Then she yawns, proving Jack right. The drive back is quieter. The festival noise fades behind them, replaced by the calm countryside road. Anna falls asleep in her seat, her small hand still curled around the trinket. Tu Tien leans her head against the window, watching the landscape pass like a moving painting. Jack drives steadily, one hand on the wheel, the other resting near the center console like he's ready to reach for Tu Tien if she needs it. Tu Tien speaks softly without turning her head. Today felt like a real beginning. Jack answers, voice low. It is. Tu Tien hesitates, then says what's really underneath. I'm scared to hope too hard. Jack doesn't pretend he doesn't understand. Then don't hope hard, he says. Hope gently, like planting seeds. Tu Tien turns slightly and looks at him. You're talking like a festival elder. Jack smiles faintly. I'm just tired of living like we're always waiting for something bad. Tu Tien's eyes soften. Me too. When they arrive home, the yard lights glow softly in the fading light. Jack carries Anna inside carefully, like he's carrying the day itself. Tu Tien follows, shutting the door behind them. Inside, the house is quiet, clean, and warm. Anna sleeps. The festival is behind them. The new year is still ahead. Tu Tien stands by the doorway for a moment, then looks at Jack and says quietly, I didn't know I could feel this. Normal again. Jack steps close and takes her hand. This is what we're building, he says. Not perfect, just safe. Tu Tien squeezes his fingers. Then let's keep building. Jack nods once. We will. And, outside, the village night settles gently, while inside their small home, the memory of drums, river water, laughter, and a child's wonder lingers like a blessing. Jack takes Tu Tien and their 2-year-old daughter Anna to a traditional early spring festival in Chiem Hua, hoping to give them a joyful New Year memory. The roads are lively with banners, drums, and families in traditional clothing, and Anna can't stop pointing at everything. They watch the opening ritual for a good harvest, feeling the calm respect of the crowd before the celebration turns festive. Jack keeps Anna close as they explore stalls and folk games, and Tu Tien's wonder slowly replaces her old fear. They cheer during traditional wrestling, laugh at tug-of-war, and let Anna try a simple ring-throwing game. The highlight is a powerful boat race on the river, where drums and paddles shake the air and Anna shouts, "Go!" all the way to the finish. On the quiet drive home, Tu Tien admits she finally feels normal again.